If I if I talk to myself from from a few years ago, I think that nothing would change. I think that when I was like in high school, I was in such like a teen angst kind of state, and I was upset at everything and I was angry at everything. And I mean, I still do get upset and angry at things now, but I feel like I I understand myself better now that I'm older and wiser, of course. Yeah, it's kind of stupid because when you're like an angsty teenager, you're like, these adults, they don't know anything. And then you become an adult, you get older, and you're like, they kind of did know something. I just wasn't listening. So, I have a sister. Well, I've had her for a while, but she she's way younger than me, and sometimes I see her and she reminds me of myself. And besides her, when I think about like old friends that aren't my friends anymore, and like I start thinking, what if I like change this, or how could I have like become a better person? I get like in this cycle of thoughts that I can't really escape from, and I start feeling like if I could have talked to myself, if I had a me when I was younger, would that have changed anything? And I think it wouldn't have. I think there's a lot to it. There's sometimes people can say the right thing and then you have like an aha moment and you like change your whole life. And I think I'm happy for people that have like a key moment of wisdom that changes their life. But I was in such a sorry state, and believe me, it wasn't because of like, how do you say, I wasn't like lacking in anything, but it was just a lot of like, it was just very internal. And so I felt that I'm not this kind of person that can be happy. That's what I thought when I was a teenager, right? And so I was convinced that when I got older, I would just still be miserable, but then I'd have like the freedom of an adult. So I was just thinking, I'll be older, but at least I'll have a house or something. Girl, you cannot have a house. But this economy is crazy. But besides the point, I think looking back to it, the person I was then was so miserable that I think no words of wisdom or like positivity could have helped me. Like, honestly, like even now as a person, now as me, the state I am now, I feel like words and books and everything, they changed my mind so much. But the me of the past, of like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I didn't know anything. And so even if I did have like an older sister or someone who would, and I'm sure there actually were people who were trying to help me, but it goes in one ear and out the other, and you don't really think about any of it. So I think if I were to have talked to myself like how I talk to my sister now, I'm saying all this stuff, but she's not listening to any of it. So although I wish that like I were kinder to myself in some aspects, or I had like better friends or something like that, I don't know. Circumstances change and it's different for everybody. But in the end, the thing that I could have controlled, which was myself, at that time it was just like in a state that was like solid. Like you couldn't break through it, and you couldn't like lock ice pick that that like girl into like becoming a person. She was kind of just like in that state. And so I think, yeah, I kind of, I hate hearing it. I hate being like, oh, you need to go through hardships to become like a better person and grow and change. But like, how do I just say it? I hated that it happened, but I'm grateful to be the person I am now. And I don't think I would have wanted it to change. So even if I went back and I was, maybe you could have changed yourself earlier. Maybe you could have been happy earlier. I think it just like it turns out the way that it is, and you can't do much about it. I feel like I talk in very run-on like sentences. I feel like this whole time I've been talking like a total of 4 sentences that just go on for a very long time. You know, like if there were like captions for this. Oh, sorry, I'm playing Leve, but she suddenly the cassette like stopped on. What side am I on? So we were listening to side A. Now we're listening to side B. Actually, it was very low volume because I was watching myself talk. But yeah, so is this playing? Is this thing on? But anyways, as I was saying, dum, 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 don't you know? Yeah. See, I get distracted. But yeah. So what is this? What is happening here? What's happening is that no one's gonna watch this anyway, right? So I think I'd like to document myself as a person growing. I would not like have to when I was a kid, I was obsessed with like maybe I'll be popular. like not like in school or whatever, but I thought I would become you know, as all 10-year-olds were like thinking, I could become a YouTuber and not have to find a job ever. Because back then I didn't have like any sense of like my goals and interests in it or anything. So I was convinced I would just become famous one day, but nah. But anyways, what am I saying? The thing I'm saying is that I don't think it's a new year, new me kind of thing. I think you always become new versions of yourself, but you're also kind of always holding yourself. I'm still that stupid 13-year-old who was like, oh, my life is so sad and everything. And you know what? It was sad. That's still me. You know, sometimes I hear other people talk about their past selves like they're some like distant cousin or something. Like, yeah, I knew that girl, but like we're not close anymore, you know? Like, no, I still understand her. I still like, I don't think I could have changed the way I was back then, but you know, all those things like add up, and now I'm here. Okay, so this year, you know, I'm not a big resolutions girl. I never stick to it, really. But so this isn't a New Year's resolution thing. This is just like a normal thought that I'm having in my brain. I should relax. I should just relax. I think everyone should relax all the time. I think that everyone's so worried about things, and I mean, it's good to worry about things. It's kind of life, but I think it's that damn phone. I think everyone's on their phone too much, and we're just all distracted all the time, and it's not good. And I just like this from now on. Not this year. I don't want to go this year. I'm gonna do this and that. No, from now on, I just want to relax. I mean, it's funny to say that because I'm actually super busy this year, but I think I just need to learn to breathe and like stop for a moment, wait, and then like reflect. God, that's awful. Yeah, I don't know, it's just, you know, when you reach like a state of like a new state of yourself, like as you get out of your cocoon and become a new version of yourself, you think, this is the best version of myself. I'm never topping this one. But then you do, right? Because like in the end we're all apps. We're all phone apps that get software updates, and sometimes the updates are bad and all the users are like, hey, this update sucked, we like the old version. And you're like, fuck, I like the old version too, but there's no going back from there. I have to work with the version I am now and then move forward. What am I going on about? Yeah. So I think time travel wouldn't work on me. And I wouldn't want it to anyway. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with it. I was like, because I was kind of a tryhard then, right? I was like, if I could wake up and be 5 years younger, I'd know the answers to my 5th grade science quiz or something like that. but what would that do? You know, okay, so imagine I'm like, if I if I was 16 and I was like, oh, if I woke up and I was 6 again, I could just like ace everything and become a genius. But then I'd be 16 again, and then I would have to learn more things that I hadn't learned yet. And so it's like, you know, time travel wouldn't have worked anyway. So the only way to go is forward, I guess. Yeah. I don't have much more to say. Alright. Happy birthday, Scaramouche, my goat. Yeah, it's January 3rd. So, yes. Today we were playing, well, I don't think you heard it at all, but, we were playing Leve, the, Bewitched Goddess Edition cassette. She's in there when I'm lazy to put in a CD, because this is a CD and stereo, when whatever. I just put on whatever's in the cassette player. But yeah, Happy New Year, I guess. You know what? This, should I share this? I'm sharing this. I have a part-time job where I talk to a lot of people, and there's this guy who's like, who we kind of think like, at first when we met him, we, as in like me and my coworkers, it was like, this guy is kind of sad, because he always talks about how he's alone and stuff. But the last time I talked to him before New Year's, I was like, so, Happy New Year's, but, you know, it's gonna be like your birthday, where you didn't think, it was special, because he mentioned it, that he didn't think his birthday was special, that it's just like any other day. And I think at the time it was like a sad thing to hear, but now that it's New Year's and it's past, and I'm thinking about resolutions in life and whatever, it is kind of just another day of the year, isn't it? Yeah. So, you know, I'll never really know what's going on in that guy's head, but kind of, some days are nice, but I think no day is more special than the other. It's what you make of it, I guess. And isn't that life? Yeah. I think this is a good place to stop. Alright. Goodbye. Bye.